families here. We want to be able to come and enjoy the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now to make criminals understand that they are not going to get away with it anymore. And I'm not going to stand here and go over and over the cases. But what I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill. I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the DC Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But it's not going to end today because the president is going to do everything we need to do to make sure that these emboldened criminals understand we see you, we're watching you, and we're going to change the law to catch you. And my final note is this. These kids understand that the jurisdiction is through the state attorney general, Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids because I can't arrest them. I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough. It changes today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Great job. Thank you. If I could, I just signed some executive orders. I'd like to have Will please come up and we'll let the people know what we signed. Do you want to put them down?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
A short while ago in the Oval Office, President Trump signed two
School and various places. They took George Washington's name. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended. And a lot of those said, you can't build your pipeline that was half built. I came in, I stopped the pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody knows that, Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. You might have not even heard it. Biggest pipeline in the world. I stopped it. I was not a friend of Russia, but I got along well with Putin. It's always good to get along with other countries if possible, but that doesn't mean you roll over like Biden did. Biden came in and he immediately approved the pipeline. I couldn't believe it. Then they say Trump wasn't tough on Russia. I wasn't tough. I was the toughest. Putin said, if you're not tough, I would hate like hell to see you visit. I stopped the biggest economic development job, the biggest job that Russia had ever built. I stopped it. It was dead. And this low IQ president came in and he let them build a pipeline and supply oil and gas all over Europe, issue. And I think it's a 97-3 issue. And I don't know who the three are. I've never heard anybody nobody's ever come up to me, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this issue even comes from. Never seen anything like it. But they turned our nation's capital into a sanctuary jurisdiction. That's the other thing. We have to get rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it, too. We have to. Because it's sanctuary for criminals. Releasing illegal alien gang members onto the streets in 2022, nearly 70% of criminals arrested in Washington went unprosecuted. That's not going to happen with the group we have standing aside and standing behind me. And at the Metropolitan Police Department, it's now reached a small number relatively compared to what it was, but it's thousands of people. You know, we have thousands of police. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. 3,500. I thought they're going to say we only have 30 policemen or women. He said we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army. How could you need more than 3,000? It just happened 2 minutes ago. Sir, they've requested more police. Oh, what do they have? About 3,500. I said, 3,500? This is not a big area. It's ridiculous. What you need is rules and regulations, and you need the right people to implement them. And we have the right people here, that I can tell you. Look at the border.
I'm sorry. I have to laugh because he's good. He's good. Now let me just explain my thoughts on this. For one, it's about time. For two, if all the rumors are true and the government's going down, whatever, what are they going to do? They're going to protect their property, right? You're not going to lose your home, your country. So them patrolling in America or whatever, a lot of people saying, they're bringing in National Guard or whatever. Well, if you're a law-abiding citizen, if you're out in the street robbing and shooting people, then that's a different story. But it's about time. And, you have the rights to do a lot of things in America, but kill people are not one of them. Rip people off their whole life, turn them into slaves, make money off them. That's not against any grounds to, they should have been charged. Yeah. I agree. But being they know a lot of people, probably big, a lot of money, whatever, they didn't get prosecuted. So, well, let's get back to this here real quick. He's talking about cleaning up the streets. Why only Washington? Why not everywhere in America? A lot of rumors going around. America's not America no more, and debt, and we're on a downward spiral. Well, okay, we're not the superpower. We still have toys and big boys and all that. Where, they catch hell if they tried to pull anything quick. So what do you do when the zoo's gone crazy? You lock down. You protect your own, right? Why are we over in some other country and these people are standing there watching their own country and their people get slaughtered or used, not get the things they should be getting. A lot of people lies. The devil's biggest trick, lies. Now, here's my thing. Hello, Miss Debbie Fox. Whether Mr. Trump is demonic or corrupt or whatever you want to call it, is it the right thing to do to bring in military if the military understands the citizens, law-abiding citizens, Americans that are here, born, whatever, that ain't out in the streets, that there's no way. I wish it was set up differently, but is it bothering me if the military comes in and patrols in America or whatever? And, if you point a weapon at them, or you take a shot at them, whatever, that's stupid. And it makes sense. If it's all going down the tubes, what do? Well, you bring your boys home and you make sure your country's safe. They're doing it in other countries. Some people on the internet are saying it's unbelievable. Like these third world countries, and some guy over there went ahead and locked up all the bad guys. And actually, people can, all the drugs and all the gangs and everything. People are shocked. It's beautiful. And, why are we doing it there? And we're paying for them to do it there. They're just using their military or whatever, these are either allies or people, we support or whatever. But when the people say thank God and they're praising the guy, and the crime has just disappeared, whether that guy's corrupt or not, is it a gift from God? Right now, these people are corrupt, but you know what? Somehow, in that corruption and evil and madness, something actually good is coming for the people, because the only people that I see that are complaining are these young generation or the bad guys. They don't want you to be able to see through their house, before you even breach the door, so they know exactly where every gun is or where you're at. If you're wanted that bad, oh well, I'm like, good God Almighty, you must be a very bad person if you got a military group hunting you down. So does it bother me? No, I'm poor. It's everyone else that we're watching that's rich lose everything, and they're in the dumps. They're killing themselves and everything. I'm like, wow, we were born poor. Well, we weren't dirt poor, but kids around me had a lot of things I didn't have. I rode someone else's motorcycle and go-kart and mini bike before I had my own. So does it bother me the military's coming in? Oh, well, right? Don't bother you? No. Why? I'm not a terrorist. I don't rob and shoot people to make a living. I don't scam people. I'm the victim. I don't go out there and do that. So I don't belong to any organization, clubs, gangs. Wasn't raised that way. If you got your ass whooped, you got your ass whooped by yourself. There's no one there to back you up. Hopefully you make it out of it alive and home, or at least crawl. Debbie says her brother had a green machine. Them were cool. Them were the things you sat in. It was like a big wheel, but it had levers like a tank. And if you lived on a hill, you were king because you were the fastest dude around. Had handles on it like a tank, and you could, in the back end would pivot. You don't see stuff like that anymore. Of course, they got more crazier stuff than we had, but that was a green machine was like top of the line for boys. It was, the green machine was the thing. He ran you down on the big wheel. Yeah, I went down it. But does it bother me what Trump's doing? Nah, it don't bother me. People, well, he's crazy. Well, maybe, but somehow, he's doing the right thing. Freedoms, yeah, you have the right to be free. You don't have the right to overthrow countries, kill people, slaughter, steal, take from the poor, so some rich guy can collect. That just ain't what it's about. People are going to say, "Oh, you're crazy. How would you even say something like that? They'll kill you." I know they've been killing me. I'm the victim. Help! Help! No, it don't bother. If you're in the business of killing, then you probably have to worry about it. You know, or stealing or ripping people off and stuff like that, and drugs. Do I think it's cool they're cleaning up the streets? Yeah, you know, some kid could be walking down the street and pick up a needle that some junkie was using and accidentally stick himself or stick someone, and you can get sick. You know, some people can die if it's fentanyl or whatever. Yeah, I think it's cool. Hey, if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, do it in closed doors, not around kids either. Even, you know what I found out? The druggies when I was growing up even had morals. There's no way they'd be out on the street where everyone can see them do it. And just, you know, no, that was something you kept to yourself and you did it in your privacy of somewhere or in your house. You didn't bring it to the streets because back when I was growing up, uh, that wasn't cool where we were. You did that in your private stuff. You didn't sit on the corner and shoot a bunch of dope and pass out and leave needles all over. And druggies even had morals back then. But today, it is a zoo. Thank God I'm a nobody, right? I can't be bought. I can't be brainwashed. Well, I don't know, maybe a little brainwash. I've gone down some of these rabbit holes and the whole thing. Man, it's pretty crazy. All I can say is if it's true and Trump is not totally, completely in control uh, of the military, where he starts killing, innocent people, then it's a problem. But out of all this evil, the military coming in to make sure we can sleep at night so our kids can sleep safe, not be shot through a window as they're sleeping, so they can go to school and learn. I'd put some in the schools too. Get rid of the bullies. Everybody wants to be a kung fu karate kid and beat the crap out of everybody just to prove they're the toughest guy in school. Right? It's balls and blood. I was there once in high school. Yeah, I know it. Little guy, you want to be somebody. You do stupid stuff. Just because you know you're an idiot, but you want to be somebody. Yeah, I've been there. Run yourself into a brick wall without a helmet. Sure. Yeah. I don't know. It don't bother me. But then again, we're poor, so really not. And we still pay taxes. Time I go to the store, even though I don't make enough to make, any money on taxes, because it's unearned income or whatever they say. Uh, I still pay taxes every time I go to a store. People don't see, still pay state taxes and federal taxes. Do I get any of that money back? No. Do I really care anymore? Not really. Not unless I was making a lot of money and paying taxes on it. Then yeah, which I always paid my taxes when I was working. They will take everything you got. That's some bullshit. Unless you got big money to fight them in court. Oh, you will lose everything. Messing with the IRS. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell, that's the only thing they can get Capone on. I think they flexed their muscles and taxes. The tax man came down. Well, didn't the Beatles sing about the tax man? Yeah, the tax man. I wonder if the IRS are actually the mother and father of the tariffs, which is a tax. They could be. It could be, Debbie. Do you do? Oh wait, you do on cigs. On everything, Debbie. I pay soda, candy. You go to a McDonald's, anywhere. You pay taxes on that, state and federal. Yeah, anything. You buy a soda, anything, loaf of bread, you're paying tax on. Hey there, Mister, can you tell me now where I can get away from blood and metal? Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. So if it's so evil as what they're saying, if you had a dying country, if you had a zoo that's gone wild, what would you do when your own borders are up? What would you do? What would be the proper call for the American people, for the citizens to have some safety, something better than what we got? Yeah, good call. How? I don't know, because they say it's so demonic, so corrupt, so bad. If it is, if it is like people are saying, well, it's two-faced, it's all this, well, then this must be the good coming out of this mess, because it would be the godly thing to do, the proper law to do, and military move to protect your own country. It's a proven fact. With a country with open borders, we're sitting ducks. And that's just a fact. And I know we got the National Guard. Well, where are they? I don't see them out here. If I've seen an assault vehicle sitting on the corner loaded with soldiers and weapons, uh, these dudes are going to think twice before they do something stupid. And if they do something stupid, these people don't belong around children and stuff like that. Anyone that upholds the law would never think about going out there unless, like I said, we've seen very bad things from the military. Then we would have to handle it. We don't want a military going rogue. And the next thing you know, all hell breaks loose. And we just become cattle put in cages with a number. We'll let out voting day and lured back into the cages. But that's only if you're a madman. If you're a law-abiding citizen, lower the taxes, get rid of property tax. Let's start busting the balls of the banks to lower the prices on houses and interest rates and everything, and give people that are getting a check each month from the government, whether it be Social Security or disability, that's a guaranteed check. Why are you not letting us buy homes? Why do we have to cut through red tape, shovel holes, jump through hoops, and you still can't? What happened to the olden days where real estate agents would knock on your door? You want to buy a house? We can have it rid up. You don't have to do nothing. Just give me the information. Yeah, what happened to these days? I don't know. It's the cause of you're homeless. It's the cause of, you got a lot of people that are on disability, have brain problems, or even can function still, that want to have their own something and can still take care of it and maybe leave something to their kids. But it's like they're saying, no. Well, there's loans out there, HUD housing and all kinds of stuff and everything. Yeah, but you never own it. I know people that went through that. That's crazy. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe things have changed. I don't know. But they need light gas. I don't know what happened in Angola last week. It was $2.80. I went back this week, just yesterday, I think it was the other day, and it was $3.19 or 20 cents out there. That's what it is out here now in Minnesota. It was like a short time. Boom, $2.89. Oh, I pulled over. I got about $10 worth. Because I knew once I got back in this town, it'd be $3.19 or 20-something cents. So how about getting the gas price down, food down? Then you're going to have to work on rebuilding America. Here's the thing: you're going to have to cut a deal with the labor unions, and you're going to have to lower prices. You're not going to be able to build an American company and make $500,000 cars and homes and everything, and think everyone in America's going to afford it. It's just stupid. You don't even have enough rich people in the country to do that. I know someone that just bought a brand new 2025 Ram truck. I just seen it today when I was over there. It listed for $70,000. $70,000. You know, I can't even, I'm getting a check from the government guaranteed, and I can't even afford to get a vehicle like that. Yeah, who are there? There's more poor than rich. Hello, Kel. Miss Debbie says 7% tax. That's what it is here. Now we're too old to do anything. Ain't got nothing our families bought. So most of these people can come to this country, and we can have even if, back in the day, if you were a military family, they looked out for each other. Now, it's just horrible. And actually were the effects of military experiments from like World War I or II and stuff that our grandparents were in. What is wrong with you, Kramer? I don't know. Here's my family tree, and you're like, a military man? Yeah, I think we know what's wrong. Product of the United States of America. Debbie saying she's coming back to haunt some people. Good God, I hope not. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of this.
Biden said there's nothing you can do. Kamala was the border czar. She never called one of the Border Patrol agents who are great. ICE is great. Never spoke to anybody. Never went there. But she was the border czar. And everybody said it was impossible to fix. I fixed it in 3 months. No, really. I fixed it the first week, but really fixed it over the last couple of months. And I mean, literally to a point where, as I said, 0 illegals entering our country in the last 90 days. Pretty amazing. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do.
Well, I agree with the border thing, but I haven't seen enough action. How come we didn't see any war hogs flying around there? How come we didn't see any M1 tanks or anything like that out there? And that's another thing I do want to bring up to our beloved Mother Green and the butt kicking machine. Electric tanks, Mr. Trump was talking about, the president. Can they work? Well, yeah. A combination of gas and battery, electric. How would it work? I'm not sure yet, but is it possible? Yes. Yes, very possible. Not only tanks, other things that actually can be converted over to just remote, still run on gas and electric. Yeah, it could be used in the desert. I don't know about that. It might be able to be used as homeland security, where we keep them on the road mostly. Because when you get electric and you get sand in a motor, that ain't good for the brushes and everything. I don't know, sir. I don't know about that, President Trump. But in certain areas where there is no sand, where like city streets, yes, sir, electric. Yes, sir. A combination, right? A powerhouse, nuclear plants, and other, water plants that turbines turn, and a combination of wind and solar. My opinion, it can't hurt to have a backup plan. Any military guy would tell you that. You're going in somewhere, you better have a couple plans in case the first one don't work out. And do I know? Am I military? No. I was raised in my military family, and I've watched a lot of stuff. So I know these guys go in thinking way ahead, way, way ahead. It's like the people in Chicago and Memphis thinking they're going to take on the military. I'm like, they've already know where you all live. They've already been in and out and know everything. You're wasting your time. They've already did recon 4 years ago, 5 years or whatever. They know all of them. Every place, every. You'd be wasting your time. No, but hey, I don't control the world. I can do it. I'm just that far down. Oh, Kelf, how you doing? Debbie, how you doing? What's going on? If you can't say blink once, blink once. Blink twice if you're good. But this is an entertainment channel. This is a movie, music. We're just voicing our opinion. Don't kill us. We're just idiots. Disabled people. We're just people that watch, learn. Right? I'm shocked. I'm learning it. If I get anything right, it's all glory to God. I can tell you that much. But what do I see? Well, all this evil, all this madness and evil. If these people think bringing in the military is a bad call, uh, I don't understand why. Don't you people want to go to the store and eat and without getting shot, killed anywhere? It's just, and then you got the right to carry. So now and that person can, within a minute, can snap. You can't tell the human psyche. One day they're fine, the next day they're on towers and climbing trees and going crazy. I mean, we've seen enough of this on YouTube. These people just, I mean, I seen a grown man break off into a stride like a dog, Ernie Shell Saga, running down a highway like Ricky Bobby. So, yeah, they're here one day and gone the next. I've been there. I'm an American. I've been crazy many of times. And you're going to be if you're an American because it's crazy. We should be getting medals for just sitting in our houses and just not doing nothing and obeying the law. There should be a bonus for us. You haven't caused no trouble in 5 years? Nope. Been sitting in my house. Here's $1,000. Oh, I think I'll sit in my house again another 5 years. Up the price, I might just stay in my house. You didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I've been sitting in this apartment for the past 13 years. I haven't been doing nothing. I got over 6,000 videos. What do you think I've been doing for the past 10 years? Idiots. But I know some crackhead on the corner probably said I was running this whole thing. He's asking you for $20 so he can go buy a crack rock. Do you think I drove here to it? I don't know. What did you do, Cal? One time I was at the AA meeting and I turned the corner around. I talked about dealing with despair and being an alcoholic. Sober. The next meeting, I found out the lady that offed herself. Oh, that's a problem. That's probably horrifying. Very dramatic, but you'll be okay. And I'm sure that person would want you to keep going, so keep doing what you're doing. Same thing with Debbie. All right, so what do we got? Well, the big guys bringing in military. Does it bother me? No. Police, well, here's the thing. Everything's corrupt. You ran on everything's corrupt. All these police are corrupt. Everyone's corrupt. How can we trust them if they're already corrupt? I can tell you how. Robots. Drones. That we program, and law is law. You throw a wrapper on the ground, you're getting picked up. Littering. Well, we won't take it that far, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. How do you deal with it? I don't know. You're living in a country where it's right to bear arms and guns are more than humans. What do you do? What? Pray, put your head between your legs and kiss your butts goodbye, because it's madness. It's a never-ending world of madness, and it just goes round and round and round and round. And I praise the countries where actually crime. They're like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Crime is way down. They're cleaning up their countries, their cities, and phew. Is America over with? No. Is it not it's not the superpower no more. Good. Let someone else. We can still kick butt. And we still have allies. Right? Are we waking up tomorrow and everything? No. The world will still go on. We're just not going to be the greatest country in the world anymore. I really, and it's going to save us probably a lot of money. And weapons and ammo, because we won't have to supply everybody. But of course, then you'll have people say, well, how are we going to make our money if we don't sell our equipment? Well, that's what got us into this trouble, is because now we're fighting against people that have our equipment because we sold it. Now, that's why our people are getting killed with our own weapons we make, and they're somehow up on the street. Right? 8-year-old or 10-year-old's got a grenade launcher on the streets out there. So yeah, third world country. Well, that's what they want. Whoever's invading this country, yeah, that's what they want. Is it our debt collectors? Well, I don't know. We owe money. Right? Would they be doing that? I don't know. How can Trump be, friends with all these people, know them, and how can they all be killing us? I don't know. It don't make sense. Because on the streets, everyone, screw that country, screw that country. It's but Trump's friends with them all. And says, well, they're all great people and all. Not unless they're lying to Trump and they're manipulating all of us. But even then, it would be a bad call for them, because they know America ain't going to go down without a fight. We got nukes and other things that we can turn a human into something else if we hit it with it. It's just crazy. It's molecular, mind-changing body structure atom changing things we've been working on out here in the country. What was that blink of? The sky just, my God, what was that? I don't know. I didn't see nothing. Back at you, Kel. Be careful. Yes, Kel, be careful driving. The world's crazy. It's gone completely crazy. So, what do I think? Well, what do you think? I think I love life. I love God. So, there's nothing I can do. I'm poor. So, what do? Well, you try and stay alive as long as you can and stay out of trouble. when when some other country's military comes knocking on my door, who is it? It's Japan. It's China. Yeah, then I probably would worry. Right now, not too much. It could be Mothman. I wouldn't doubt it. But Gray Hughes said it was the chupacabra, but it's, which I would believe that. But then he went in, it was Bigfoot, and I'm like, well, now it's stretching it. Probably, the Mothman. I mean, now you're getting out there, Mr. Gray. But it's okay. We love you anyway. We love you anyways. So is this bothering me? No, because only we pay for the military. I don't know if you people know that, but the American citizens pay for the military. Did you know that? I don't know if they knew that. They also pay for the police and the FBI and everything. Yeah, the citizens. I know it's crazy, ain't it? But you didn't know that, did you? So if we can get our money out of this using the money that we keep spending and actually have the government protect and serve the American people from madmen, am I for it? It can't hurt. They might be right. We're being invaded from inside. What do? Well, you're going to have to go through your own property, your own land, and secure it. If not, you ain't got no country. What, you got nothing. It's invaded. So yeah, get it going. And how far are we on that missile defense system? I haven't seen no CRAM show up here. Is there a reason why I ain't got no CRAM off the side of my apartment here? But how far are we on that? Get that going. Let's get going on that. Drop a couple battleships in Lake Michigan. And yeah, protect our country. Not unless these people, hopefully we can come to terms. Do I want war and madness in our country? No. I wish it on no country. But if it's good against bad and we're dealing with the devil himself, it'd be better to protect our own. I mean, why are we, we do it in other countries, protect their people. That's why they're all in the streets cheering, America, America. Them are the ones that were saved on the list to be slaughtered by a rogue, crazy government or something. I don't know. Morals. These people want to be leaders. They all have God syndrome. They want to be kings. Well, don't slaughter the wrong people then. Why are you slaughtering the people that are weak, sick, or whatever, and obeying the laws, eating shoe leather? Why aren't you getting the big bad bullies? The big shot caller, money maker, earth shakers. You're not going to get rid of the poor. Some of these people were forced into it, swindled into it. Get rid of everything you got so you can be on this coverage and get your disability. People lost their homes, land, thinking that, and then they, for them to tell them to put it in someone else's name, that's breaking the law. Judas Priest saying that the best. Breaking the law, breaking the law. That's telling people, in order to be on this program, you can't own a house. You can't own anything like that. To put it in other people, you can't own land. You got to put it in someone else's name. Well, that right there is lying and breaking the law. I don't know what kind of health coverage that is, but it don't make sense to me, Lord. All right, let's listen to a little bit more. I'm sorry. I'm done with my ranting and raving.
Do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to just take years, because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job. And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before. I actually think it's easy. If you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. A lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of.
Trump reminds me of my grandfather. He reminds me of every one of our grandfathers that went to war. I'm sorry, he does. I can't. Right? These people, they don't have nothing but a police. That's it. They don't have all this. They don't have nothing but police. Tough police. They'll beat you with their billy clubs. These guys will beat you down. Right? But we're not going to have any of that here. I'll tell you that. They're not going to do that here in America. We ain't going to have crime here anymore. Yeah. Does it bother me? No. When I was younger, hanging around with the wrong people, committing crimes, would this be a damper in things or whatever? Oh, yeah. Oh, this sucks. You mean we're going to have these military dudes running around? Yeah, I think I'm going to give up on that. Find a job. We're just citizens. That's it. We are just citizens. We don't know what these people are like. We go off of tabloids and everything else. Everyone's saying, the government's corrupt. It's all evil, the devil. Okay, well, having your own military come home that you've been supporting your whole life, every American has been, to protect and serve our country and our borders and our citizens, surely has to be something of a miracle out of all this evil. Now, like I said, if they get here and innocent people start coming up dead, then we got problems. But if they actually are going after bad guys that are out in the streets, terrorizing the neighborhoods and children and everything else, it ain't going to bother me one bit. right? The only thing that might bother me is, I don't know, maybe we find out how ugly America really is, and how, if these people pop out of the woodwork and got, you know, equipment and everything, and it erupts into something, yeah, that worries me, right? Because then you'll know, yeah, the country was a haven for very bad people, and it's all constitution. We have the right to bear arms against them or whatever. It's a double-headed sword. That's what worries me, because if you stand up to defend your country and the family, and you attack America, well, or attack a military person or something like that, or it's just crazy. That's what worries me, is them becoming gods, and even the military, where they're making their own decision and people are dying that shouldn't be dying. Well, I'm human. A lot of things worry me. I get depressed. Family members die, whatever. Uh, People dying more, whatever. I'm human. But if the military came in and somebody had enough balls to attack the military, then we know the military's coming in to do a job, make America safe again. So you can go buy a loaf of bread at the store and not get shot or sniped or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. How are you going to win a war when your country is right to bear arms and everybody's on a different side? It's madness. Debbie said, respect her authority. She don't want to have to use it. Well, none of us want to use that kind of authority. But when your country's not the greatest country anymore, what do? What's the smart thing to do? Well, you better protect your country, your land. You want all these guys to come home to nothing? Now they got a war. Right? And then who suffers? The American people, us. We're sitting here watching TV. Next thing you know, we're watching Johnny Carson, and an ICBM comes through your window. It's always us, the civilians, the law-abiding civilians that suffer more. Not them, it's us. It's always the poor, the weak. Move them. They got nowhere to go. They're going to blow up their apartment. Or just, I don't know. They put Trump's name on this building when it came to election year or whatever. I thought we were going to be shitting on gold toilets and having gold showers and everything. That didn't happen. Thought I was going to have an effing bidet all in gold. Gold handles with door handles and everything. No. Marble floors and windows and everything. Just, no. It was a good dream. It was a dream. It was a pipe dream. All right. Is there anything you want to say? I say bidet, sir. That's exactly what I said. Well, if all this is madness and everybody's saying it's all crazy, it's gone completely nuts. What's the right thing to do? Protect your people and protect your ground, because if you ain't got no ground, you got none. Right? You got no border, you got no security, you got nothing. The death fields will continue. People will continue to get shot in the streets. children will be kidnapped and women will be turned into prostitutes. And some of these men probably will be turned into prostitution. It's just horrible. It just goes on. And then the demonic witches and all that will come back and they'll be cursing us, eye jerking us, jerkins and man root curses and everything. And I really don't want to go through this again. I really don't. I've been through hell. I didn't serve no time in the military, but I should have because I've just been through hell. Rice paddies and ponds of shit and oceans of blood and shit and all kinds of stuff. My bidet is sweet. Well, when I seen Trump's name on the front of the building, I thought I finally made it. I'm gonna be shitting on a gold toilet and wiping my ass with gold leaf toilet paper. I made it, but it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Well, I think I'm done drinking coffee. I was feeling tired. I ran out of coffee. I was feeling tired. I did some work today. Cut a yard. I'm sitting here. I'm babysitting a dog for a day. I'm trying to survive, making a couple quid, a couple dollars, a couple greenbacks, a couple squids, you name it. And, I wish we all could be some. There's a lot of people want it, my idea of changing YouTube. I wanted a complete music studio and news camera setup in YouTube. A mixing console, effects built in for the YouTuber, right? For the YouTube creator, where they got effects all built in as it goes live. Wanted to bring in some big hitters, Eddie Kramer and Waves plugins, big names, and just create this massive YouTube council for us to create videos and music and all kinds of stuff, effects, where we can talk like a Bigfoot, aliens, all kinds of stuff. I wanted to do it. I was talking it over with a lot of people, Stallone and everybody. I thought it was a good deal. That's what I thought too. I shot low. I should have shot high, but I shot in the middle and I should have went high, but then I ended up going low and it was just too much. And then to bring it in, Gray Hughes is thinking that it's possible a chupacabra was brought into these cases. And I believe it. If Gray Hughes says it, it's real. And it's just too much for me. Now I'm going to end this video. It's been a great night. I wish we can do this again. Let's say we did, but not really do it. And chupacabras are real. Bigfoot, numerous things. Even conspiracies, right? The devil, it's all real. All glory goes to God here. Each day we're surviving. Each day is a miracle. In Jesus' name, have a great night. God bless y'all. My rant and rave is over. I'm just a YouTuber. I don't make money. I'm poor. And I don't want to be the next victim of the United States. Jesus, please save me. Or buy me a flak jacket or a bulletproof vehicle. In Jesus' name, amen. I want to thank everyone for stopping and God bless.